YouTube, it's your boy Above Average Cody coming at you today with a video on how you can improve your awareness and also your positioning here in Halo Infinite Rank. Now, this is a bit of an impulse video, but on our grind today to 1550 Onyx on Brent's main account, I might add, I was lobbied up with him, I realized that the games that I am hyper-focused on where I'm putting myself on the map and how I'm trying to anticipate my enemies is the games that I find the most success in the higher lobbies. And so today, I'm going to go through this Aquarius game that we had on stream where I felt like I made a lot of good decisions, maybe some not so good decisions, but I'm going to walk you guys through the thought process so that you guys can kind of turn it into how you can maybe start thinking differently about your gameplay and in turn improve your awareness and also your positioning. So we're going to go back to the start of the game and go with my opening decision here right out of the gate. Now, nowadays on Aquarius, I like running to P side, which is down through Fridge, the steps out of your base, if you don't already know. And I like to put nades up the stairs. Now, I put them right up the stairs because in these lobbies versus like the high diamond lobbies, people get to this spot a lot faster if they're going to push you P side. So I put the nade right up the stairs. Brent throws one as well. And then if I don't see anything, I usually rocket one right off of this wall so that it scuttles down and lands right here. So if they get to the top of the steps, they're still going to take some damage. I actually meet somebody, I get a couple lucky shots, and I'm able to get the kill. So now, the reason I instantly turn my head here is so that if there's another one behind him, he doesn't get a free kill, right? And this is awareness and also positioning simultaneously. So I run up and I get this kill, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to wait and see if there's a second one because I've learned the hard way too many times. You're an insta-kill if that happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop here, and this is the positioning, right? I'm going to stay here so that the fella coming up P steps physically has to come around this to kill me, assuming I'm one-shot, of course. If I have full health, maybe I'm going to chow him, try to yam on him, whatever. So I'm going to hold this because this blocks all of the shots that could possibly come from P-steps, Fridge, or pretty much anybody unless they're going to move up car or mid. And then, of course, my awareness. The awareness is going to give me, the information is going to help my awareness, right? I'm going to see what my teammates are doing, where they're at, and see if maybe the enemy's grabbing camo, if I'm going to have to grab camo. All this information is very helpful because if you want my honest opinion on what awareness means to me, because this is a very vague statement, you know, improve your awareness. Like, how do you do that? And Brent would always say to me, you have to imagine where the enemies are going to be before the enemies are there, right? So to do this, you are going to think about where your teammates are, how many are alive or dead on the map, and this will allow you to think about where they could be and where they might be spawning, and then you can better think about where they're going to be coming from. Now, I believe this kill was the only one we got, right? Based off this information, I don't see any here, so it's safe to assume I'm probably going to be safe on P side here, right? And now all of my teammates are here, and obviously you'd be hearing gunshots, hopefully hearing some comms, but just based off what we're seeing here on the map, it's safe to assume they're either probably slow moving through car side, maybe teammates have them pinned here, or they're going to be front court. They might even jump up to P side if they get a call out that I'm weak here. So I need to hold this and make sure that I get my shields back. Again, I did not have to get camo. I'm anticipating my shields coming back, so I'm going to take a quick little peek out here and see now I'm clear. I see the pings coming up over here, so now not only did I gain info knowing that I'm safe on this side, but now I have info on, oh crap, my teammates need help. And I actually, this is the not so good decision. I could have held this for one more second and then helped, but again, I didn't really know where the other three were. So I'm going to fly out, I'm going to help them clean up this damage, and that dude was so weak, my bullet barely grazed him, and it put him down. So now we have a double kill, so that's 3 dead. That first fella I killed is actually going to be spawning up any second. So this is where you're going to want to position yourself such that you are blocking spawns, especially on Aquarius CTF, right? You guys have probably played long enough to know if you're going to want to run flag P side, you're probably going to want to block here P side. More often than not, you're going to want to run it util side, bit more cover, bit safer flag routes, faster flag routes, then you want to block util side. So you can see here, the reason I am doing this, and I did a big video maybe a month ago on this, on the biggest thing that's helped me in Onyx, and that is cutting the map, right? I'm going to get into that for a second, but first I want to talk about this decision. So what I do is I just see if that fella that I said was going to be spawning up, if I can catch him off spawn just kind of being lazy, because it'd be a free kill for me. So I'm going to take a quick peek. He's not up yet. which means 3 dead. The map is open. Unless there is one soul looking for me, I'm not going to die making this run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross through court because I know it's safe. And that is what I mean by cutting the map, right? It is safe. I'm going to take the fastest path to where I want to go. And crossing through here not only gets me closer to flag, but it potentially blocks the new players from spawning in util, the more favorable side. And you guys saw where my teammates already were. We have Robert over here moved up on car 2 already. So, to bring it all together, quick check. I'm going to move, and I'm going to get here as fast as possible. I'm not moving very quickly. I probably could have done some curb slides, but I was a little nervous. He's pinging up util, so I'm going to be a little cautious here. And now I'm in base. I have free reign to kind of do whatever. And their spawners, as you can see, Damon, who I killed first, is already out. He actually got the kill on Robert. So I was actually a little late to block that util spawn, but that's generally the type of thought process you want to go through. Ideally, if Robert wasn't fighting, it would have been nice to have him move up and try to get the block on the util spawn, and then I come over and meet him, and we both go in the back of the base. But I assume he was fighting Leash, who I believe was the 4th one we were trying to find, and then Brent killed him. So, although I'm late, I'm going to try to get this flagpole out because I'm pretty confident that the other 2 did not spawn util. And then I actually end up getting shot in the back here, and I panic. Still had some health, but I didn't want to go down, and teammates weren't moved up on the map, so I choose to come back to base and fight here. I'm going to slow move. I'm going to try to preserve my life as much as possible. And I actually don't even remember what happens here. I'm able to get the kill there onto Divine, so I'm going to keep trying to live up here. I see Brent's in util. I'm going to try to get out and get this flag moving, which I do. If you guys are watching the kill feed, which you should be in your gameplay, we now have 2 players down. So me and Brent, I believe, are the last 2 up. So we have to be very cautious. One flies out car 3. Again, Damon, who we knew was over here already. He made a very good play to track me down and get the kill there. We are now 3 dead, and you can basically consider that flag a loss. And I want to take a moment just talking about this. Just consider a loss, guys. If you're 3 dead and you're Bob here, do not just bum rush the flag. A lot of players like to do that in the lower lobbies. Just preserve your life. You can peck a couple shots, but just do not die to these fellas. Do whatever you do. Do not die. So, next life we're going to jump into. Awareness and positioning. That flag's a loss, but they didn't get any real advantage on the map. So we got to come off spawn fast and fight them for that map advantage. The faster we can get to mid-map, the faster we have control over camo, faster we put them in the spawn blender, etc., etc. So, awareness and positioning. I'm going to jump up, and I'm just going to see what information I can grab. Nobody snuck up fridge. There's nobody to shoot car 3. And the reason I'm going to go this way, guys, is I already have 2 teammates moving up over that way, and they just got the flag return, so they're going to be a little slow out of base. So I'm going to try to, encompass them on the map, if you will. Rather than just running the same way my teammates already are, it doesn't seem like they're immediately fighting. The enemies are slow moving. I have free reign to kind of take this off angle to help my teammates. So I'm actually going to run over and try to get up P2. I have Brent here. Again, you can see the teamwork there. We're double nading the same spot. We're thinking the same thing, even if we're not talking about it. Bob actually ends up going down. And now, positioning. You have to hold your angles. So, when I see Brent move here, and again, guys, I told you there was going to be bad decisions. This is a learning experience, not only for you guys, but this is stuff that I need to improve my gameplay. So, Brent, Halo Rat here, you may have heard of him. He moves out towards court, right? So, I have to live here. If Brent has the opportunity, he is going to wrap around and help me, or at least I have to live up and protect myself, right? I have to be aware of that. I have to be aware of this situation. It's a very dangerous situation here for me. I could have jiggle peeked that all day. Instead, I fly out, I die, and now we're a man down. Luckily, Brent picks up the kill, and teammates are picking up kills, so it works out good, but that's just one of those little split-second decisions where my awareness might not have been quite as good. So, once again, awareness. We have a player P side. We have a player backing up towards util, so I know there's probably enemies over here. There is going to be some action on this side of the map for the enemy team. This is where you have to be very aware. Use your teammates to dictate what's safe, and where your teammates aren't probably isn't safe, right? So I'm going to choose to go up P side here so I can maybe get some shots in with Bob. I see he's shooting util. I'm going to take that. I'm going to check his fridge side. We catch one off guard, and then I see he has help from Brent there, so I'm going to slide right back over and position myself so that we're not all watching the same angle, right? So right here, as I talked about before, we get that kill. Oh, he actually gets traded there, which I didn't even realize that happened. But Brent's going to be safe here. I'm not too worried about Brent. You have to have trust in him. If there was 2 teammates, it's even better. But I'm going to take a different angle. I don't really have to sprint back base because it's kind of just a waste of time for me to leave my position and run. I'm going to stay up high. I'm going to back down Divine. And I look over and see Robert's dead. Awareness, guys. You have to see what's going on with your teammates, especially if you're not talking to them. Comms could save some of this, but just that little snap over of the head, I see after I back Divine down, I know that's safe. I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to move over and hug this wall so that I don't really have to worry about too much if there's somebody in base. But as I see Robert die, another one pokes out car 3, and I actually get done up by him. But it's the fact that I was aware enough to look over and see what was going on. One way I could definitely improve my positioning is if I were to, instead of moving up here, if I would have moved back and held my angle, I could have dropped off that stair ledge and gone down the steps. So that's one way I could improve my positioning. But now that I've kind of drawn the framework here of what's going through my head, I want to talk about the basics and what really flipped this switch for me on awareness and positioning. Awareness, I've already talked about it. It's teammates, guys. I've done this in every single VOD review I've done. You need to look for teammates. Teammates are going to dictate where enemies are. It's going to dictate where they're coming from. And as long as you use your ears and listen to what teammates are saying or shooting at, you can pretty much assume where the action is and where you should be heading in direction-wise. But as for positioning, I think this is the most complicated thing, and I'm going to give you guys a nice little spiel here to kind of close it out, because positioning means multiple things. Because I think the most important positioning is how you're using your cover. You don't want to take gunfights out in the open. You want to move and position yourself such that if there's 2 enemies here, you're going to cut the angle off from one of them and then chow the other one, because you can't shoot 2 things at once. It's just a matter of fact. So you're going to position yourself around your cover such that you can bob and weave. And there's actually a perfect example right here. So I think I'm safe. I'm going to run out court, right? I jump up here. I'm getting shot in the back. So in my head, I need to position myself immediately to break that angle. Guys, I'm not lucid. I'm not spinning on this guy and gunning him down, right? So I'm going to move here, and I'm going to hug this one because, one, I know this angle's broken, but I also have to think ahead and be aware of where the enemies on their side of the map are going to be. So I'm going to pin myself against this one so that I'm safe from both angles. So somebody physically has to put themselves in the open on car 3 or P2 to get the kill onto me. That's the first step of positioning. The second step of positioning is where you are going and how fast you should be getting there. I'm not going to pull up this sequence, but a perfect example is on live fire. You have 2 or 3 teammates pushing the oddball on C tower, let's say, right? You spawn up out on A somehow. It's safe to assume your teammates are going to get 1 or 2 kills, or perhaps they've already received 1 or 2 kills. You need to get out of A spawn as quickly as possible because A, you want to open up the spawns in A, and B, once they spawn A, you have to have the awareness. You see how these 2 things go together, guys? You have to have the awareness that they're going to be behind you. So you have to get to your teammates as freaking quickly as possible. G-slide, sprint, just whatever you do, do not walk and do not like reticle watch. Do not go staring off in outer space, right? You know the enemies are on the other side of the map, so you have to get on the horse and go, guys. The other example of this is Aquarius is really big. I talked about it at the beginning of the video. You want to block P spawns if you're going to run P side. You want to block util spawns if you want to run it util side. So you have to think about your positioning. It's awesome if you get a double kill, a triple kill. But the biggest thing in Halo is what you're doing after you get that double or triple kill, right? You don't get to just freaking stand there. And this is one really big thing that I've learned. You have to keep going. You have to always be on to that next step. And that's probably the craziest thing in like the Onyx 15, 16, 1700 lobbies that Brent is dragging me into, is the stuff happens so fast, you don't even get a second to think about it, right? So you have to get that double, triple kill and immediately think about, okay, Do my teammates need help with the last one? Should I be grabbing objective? But most importantly, what position am I going to put myself where I'm going to give my teammates the best chance to win the game? And this is where you want to think about spawns. Chat, I'm saying chat like I'm live. Guys, I never used to think about blocking spawns, right? Because that's like breaking through the fourth wall, right? Once you have the brain capacity in Halo Infinite Rank to start thinking about where people are going to be spawning and how you can stop them or influence them from spawning in one place or getting the spawn in a less favorable place for them, that is how you really control the map. That is how you really just think 10 steps ahead of yourself, and that's how you really take your gameplay to the next level. Now, I'm not doing this video like I am the greatest player ever, but this is something that I've made a lot of strides on, and I've made a ton of improvement with, that's really not only changed my gameplay, but it's made me not such a costly player in Brent's lobbies. Now, Brent's dragging me 1,700 lobbies. We're playing with people that are 2,000 Onyx, and just lobbies that I never thought I really belonged in. But putting all this stuff together and starting to do it faster and think about it faster is really making me play like I belong there. Now, while my rank does not say I belong there, again, I'm not costing the team like I would be. I'm putting up more than 4 kills and less than 30 deaths, and those are big strides of improvement, and it's just, like I said, I was really focused on both awareness and positioning today. I literally just finished stream. I felt like I played pretty well today with Brent. We got to Onyx 1550 again, so I impulse decided to make this video. It wasn't planned out. That's why I say it was an impulse video, but I think I got a lot that's been on my mind on the topic into this video. Hopefully you guys learned something from it, and most importantly, hopefully it made some sense. But guys, hope this one helped. Subscribe to the channel. We are coming in hot on 10,000 subs, so please hit that sub button. Leave a thumbs up on the video down below. Leave a comment. Did this video help you out? If so, please let me know, and let me know what else you'd like to see in the form of tips and or tricks video. And finally, guys, channel memberships and super thanks if you'd like support monetarily. It helps me out a lot as a content creator, but please do not feel like you have to. And again, guys, I'm live on Twitch now, so go follow the Twitch. Even if you don't plan on watching me there, it helps out a lot. But alrighty, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support lately. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and most importantly, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next one, y'all.